Well, it's Wednesday, the 7th of April. It's just about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 6 degrees Celsius, which is very refreshing. God, it's cold. And I'm on the boat, and I'm just awaiting a surveyor engineer to come, because my good lady wife has decided that we ought to consider having air conditioning retrofitted to the boat for the 3 days of hot summer that we get on a yearly basis. So once the engineer has been, or perhaps even whilst he's here, if he's agreeable, we'll have a little video about how he's going to survey the boat and all that jazz. So this is Tom. Say hello, Tom.
Hiya.
And this gentleman is surveying the boat and looking at various things. He's already had a look down in the engine bay, and he's happy with what he's seen down there with the size of the generator. And this here, which is behind two panels, is the well, you can see what the other trip switches and bits of electricity circuits, which mean absolutely nothing to me, but apparently he's very pleased with it. So how's it going, Tom?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, we need to get in behind here, but obviously there's a screw panel which comes out, because obviously this is your main 230 volt panel here. Yes. The aircon unit is 230 volts.
Yes. So
we need to get in here and probably just there'll be a supply in behind there that we can run a cable to. As we're only fitting one aircon unit, we'd fit a breaker, it's very similar to this, near the unit itself.
Which would be somewhere down here.
Somewhere down there.
Yeah. So. Somewhere down here underneath a locker. Okay. Good. So is that roughly where the unit would go, do you think, Tom?
I'm thinking so. It looks like that it's either this end or that end, the largest, but I'm just trying to think of what they'd do on a factory fit. Normally I'd expect these bits to pop off, and then they'd normally run the ducting down here.
Yes.
They're firmly fitted, but sometimes when you get to a scenario like this, you create more damage trying to get it off and do it as a factory fit than you could do as a sort of retrofit, as it were.
Okay. Obviously, we'd have to be mindful of protecting the cabinetry, wouldn't we?
Yeah. No, we wouldn't want to scratch any of that.
So what's the plan?
So a DTG 12 unit as opposed to 16, so middle of the range.
Oh, okay.
Which I believe on a single outlet as opposed to a dual will give you a much better blow, as it were. And
okay.
Circulation and cooling. So DTG 12 unit under this end of this.
Yeah.
Sort of up this end, so you've still got a little bit of storage there.
Yeah.
The return air grill I spoke about earlier, so the inlet air grill where it sucks air in, would be under here. Take up this whole space here.
Yeah.
And then what we do is put one large outlet grill in the face of here. And they all have little vanes in them you can move, so we can point them up and we can point them to blow the air across the room as well. Okay. So I think that's the best option for in here.
Okay.
There's a nice space underneath the full cabin floor for the pump and the strainer.
So would that go sort of down here? Is that?
There's a hatch directly in front of where that is. Yeah.
Yes.
That'll all go down there. And
yeah, I've seen that.
Pipe work here.
Yeah.
The outlets I'd probably be tempted to put up here somewhere.
Yeah.
Behind the seat box. We always cable tie them open. We don't want them closed. Basically, if you ever close that, the unit is trying to force all this water out.
Yep.
So we need to take the handle off. It's only something you haven't really need to close if you're removing the unit or anything like that. But
right.
On handover, I'd show you exactly where all that is.
And the seacock.
And the seacock would be down underneath the board as well.
Right.
So seacock strainer and pump would be down under there.
Yeah.
And then it would pipe up to the unit and discharge overboard up here as well.
Okay. And so if your quota's successful, yeah. And I'm happy with it, roughly what sort of time frame to do it? Do you know?
All depends.
Because I need to organise a lift. You see, that's why I'm asking.
What sort of time? We've got a little bit of time. We've got a week free in May.
May.
Yeah. And if not, it's July.
Right.
We might be able to wiggle something around.
Well, I need to know, because there's 3 places where I can get this boat lifted.
Yep. Bray.
I need to talk to the guy at Bray.
Yep.
But as far as I'm aware, this is just a lift, wash off, put the seacock in, put it back in the water, isn't it?
We ideally, so what we'd probably ask you to do up here is, let's say, we like to give them 24 hours for the sealant to cure.
Right.
So we'd ideally like to try and find a time scale with yourself. Obviously, we need to know.
Yeah.
First lift in the morning.
Yeah.
we come up, do the Seacocks. We'd be happy with either the last lift back in the afternoon,
Yeah.
or ideally the next morning.
Right.
And really, we want that done before we install.
Because when I was talking to Pete last, we were actually talking about March.
March.
Now, I don't know whether that's still on or possible or not.
It might be. It probably wouldn't be me.
Oh dear.
Because I know I'm booked out till June. But
Okay.
I am the head installation engineer, so we've got a team of guys who are more than capable.
Well, I think I quite like the idea of waiting for the head installation engineer.
This is something I can mention to Pete. I'll put a big question mark next to it.
The lifts either going to be here, Tingdean, Windsor
What
Racecourse.
do they do for a lift here? They go put it on a trailer.
I don't know what they do at Bray.
Bray is a crane, like it used to
It's a crane. The Tingdean is a crane.
I think initially I'll get all this written up to Pete so we can get back to you with a phone.
Yeah, because it's either going to be, the lift will either be Bray,
Yeah.
Windsor Racecourse Marina, they have a big crane.
Yeah.
Okay, or what's the one further up the river? Not Hurley, begins with an H.
Harleyford?
Harleyford. They have a decent sized crane as well.
They have. I think they've just got a new one as well, actually. 3.5, 4 days labour, really.
Okay. Right.
Maybe 3. Is my strong recommendation.
Right.
I've got a list of everything I need today.
Okay.
And then we need to get the dates back to you. And the quote, obviously.
Yes. Then, as soon as I've got the dates, I can find a lift, basically.
Yeah.
Bray's the
Well,
nearest.
if you wanted to, ideally, I'd want to do the Seacocks before the install, so it doesn't matter whether it's a week before or 3 weeks before.
Oh, I see. So you do a special trip for that.
Yeah. We'll include all that in there. So we'll include half a day on us to come up and fit the Seacocks, and then travel back.
Gotcha.
Sort of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, because then I can just pull the boat round to wherever.
Yeah. So long as we've got availability, this is why Pete needs to get dates back to you.
Yeah. Good. So I look forward to hearing you with your best possible price. So that's Tom disappearing into his van and away back to Poole, I think we said. So I'm now just making sure that everything is fine, and I just need to turn this off and turn the lights off. Take my dirty coffee cup. And that's me done. So more later, and I'll let you know how we get on with the procedure. Ta-ta.